Drills Talk, episode 133. In this episode, we're going to discuss the top 4 ways to restart the chase of a dream. This is based on a blog I wrote in the past entitled Back to Business. We chase, we stop, we get discouraged, we don't start again. All of a sudden, we have this moment and we want to start. But how? How do we do it? How do we make up for lost time? How do we get back to the flow that we were in when we were 100% committed? What do we do? What are the answers? Let's get to it.
Yo, Drills.
Created by the great wizard of the new world.
Drills Talk, episode 133. In this episode, we're going to discuss the top 4 ways to restart the chase of a dream. But before we get started, please like, subscribe, show your love however you would like to show your love. Here we're an entrepreneurship-based channel, very focused on mindset, motivation, and overall wellness. We also have new blogs every Monday. We have a new vlog, Drills Talk, every Wednesday. And I also promote and post motivational videos. And I hope you check those out whenever you need them. Let's get started. Number one is to improve on positive traits. Obviously, we stopped. We understand that, and we understand that that's not a positive, right? But we had something going for us. What went well? That's what we have to ask ourselves. What are we really good at? When we were doing this 100%, what was the best thing? What was something we didn't have to worry about? We know we have that in our pocket. Make sure we improve on that. We really focus on negatives and say we have to clean up our negatives. But imagine if we improve on our positives. That can that have an effect also? Yes. Let's say we were good, but we were so bad at everything else. Maybe we weren't that great. It was just, that's the positive that stuck out, right? But in our heads, we were already good at this. So attempting to improve on something we already think we're good at is a lot easier than knowing something is a weakness and attempting to change that into a strength. Does that make sense? It's easier to say, okay, I'm already decent at this. Let me get very good to great, as opposed to I suck at this. How do I get to average or above average? So make sure that we know what our positives were. We know what we were good at the last time we were 100% committed, and focus on making those attributes better. Focus on getting a little better than what we were before. And you'll be surprised at how well we jump back into what we were doing before, because we're jumping back into something we already were doing well. Sometimes you got to trick yourself into starting again. Number two is to remove negative traits. We know what we do well. We know what we didn't do very well before. Our negative traits, if there's something that can be removed, we need to remove them. If we are having trouble with timing, we have to get better at controlling our time. We have to get better utilizing our time. Right? We have to not be okay with telling ourselves we'll do it tomorrow, because that's an ultra negative, because we always convince ourselves that something can wait until tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes, right? You wake up and it's today again. And now you're pushing it again to the next tomorrow. That's a huge negative trait. If time management is one of the negatives, definitely fix that. You need to remove that off of your list as a negative. If another negative is, say, motivation, keeping you motivated, you just need to feed yourself more information as to why you're doing what you're doing. Because obviously you're doing it for a reason, right? And if the success of accomplishing the goal is not enough, then you need to look around for other things. And I did have a video on that as far as, asking yourself who you can do it for, who else you can do it for. You know what I mean? Things like that can give you additional motivation. If motivation is an issue and you can't tell yourself why you're doing it to keep you going forward, you should question your goal. Because if you are, totally into what you're doing and you know why you're doing it, you know who you're doing it for, motivation is very rarely an issue or a negative. Make sure you're chasing what you're chasing because of you and because it's something you want to do, not for someone else or what you think someone else will be impressed by. because you'll always find yourself looking for motivation because this is not what you want to do. Keep that in mind. Number three. Number three is to utilize the fresh outlook. So yes, we have stopped and we're starting again, but we had some life in between there, right? There was some experience that we've grasped. We have a new outlook on life. So how does that affect us and what we're trying to start up again? Did we learn anything? Are we a new person? Do we have a new outlook on life totally? So of course we have a new outlook on what we're going to accomplish, and maybe we set better goals now. Maybe we're more consistent than we were before. Maybe we're a lot more optimistic than we were before. Maybe we're overall positive people now. Maybe we can take a couple of bad days or a bad week or a bad month, as opposed to that person when something, happened bad in the past, it kind of crumbled us. We're not that anymore. So understand that fresh outlook, that fresh start can be exactly what we needed. It's not always a negative trying to restart something, because maybe that person wasn't bred for what we're trying to do. But now the person where we are now today, we're ready. We're wanting to get better. We understand that there will be choppy, situations. There'll be mountains to climb. There'll be times where we have to get up off our face because we done fell on it for the second time. But we're different now. We're ready for these hurdles. We're ready for these issues. We're a lot more optimistic. We're a lot more positive. We understand what we're doing, why it's our goal, how it benefits us, who else is benefiting. We get that and we understand that. And motivation is never an issue. We understand that time is very important. And yeah, it's some time we're going to want to waste and maybe watch some TV or maybe just lollygag and play games. But there's a time to work because we know exactly what we want. We know if we do the work now, we'll have plenty of time to lollygag in the future because we're doing everything we need to do now. See, that mindset, that outlook wasn't there before. That wasn't us before. We didn't know of that. And if we didn't know of that, we knew that wasn't us. But now we're a little older. We're a little more mature. We understand that when you want something, you have to work for it. When you want something, you have to be consistent. We understand that the last time we had a little bit too many negatives going on, we have to get rid of those. We got rid of most of them, right? We improved on our positives. We improved on our strengths. So now we're really set up for success this go around, and we're not going to let it end like it did before. Number four. Number four is to build a habit. And building a habit takes time. The shortest time is 3 weeks. And I know most of us don't do anything consistent for one. So understand that it's going to take some time to build a habit. Some people take up, I think it's like 9 months, 8-9 months to build a habit. So understand that we're in the long haul if we want to, quote unquote, call this this journey a habit, to make it to where it's not something we have to make ourselves do anymore. It's just something that's in our day to day, in our week to week. 3 weeks to 8 to 9 months. And 8 to 9 months is like the long, hopefully it's not you, but 3 weeks probably not you either. So, we're talking 5-6 months probably to make it a habit, to something where it's not as hard to make yourself do. So understand that 6 months on average is worth it. Make that a habit. Make it a habit. What is it that you love to do? Is that part of your goal? Because that makes it a lot easier. It's already part of your, day to day because you love doing it, but it's part of the day to day working towards where you want to get to professionally in your life. That makes it a little bit more important. Doing something for fun versus doing it to secure your future and your financial freedom, it's a lot different, right? That's worth making a habit. What do I need to do to get myself used to chasing this dream? Because once I do, and it's a part of me, my journey gets that much easier, to where I don't need to kind of get up and push the gas every time I'm waking up and I'm ready to go. That's the big difference. Drills Talk, episode 133. These are the top 4 ways to restart the chase of a dream. Let's get going. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. It's drills.com. Check this shit out. It's Drills.